Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. This week I kind of just wanted to make a little informal update video sharing some things that I want to share. It would be nice to find a way to make this more of a long-term thing. I need a name for it if it's going to be a series. If you have ideas, let me know, but just like a little informal update series, I guess. I think sometimes when I'm trying to work on other things or when I'm dealing with health stuff, it can be really hard to make longer videos or attic archive videos. And I think always making notebook videos is kind of a trap in some ways because it means I'm always thinking a lot about them. And I think sometimes that doesn't help me necessarily. I will talk about notebooks a little bit in a bit, but first I just wanted to give you an update on the sleep situation because you guys have been really supportive and kind about it while I've been dealing with everything. So I had my first appointment at the sleep clinic. They took it really seriously, which is very validating and nice. Also kind of sad, I guess, because like it's as bad as I thought. But we talked about it a little bit and they were like, wow, that is bad and interesting. We will investigate thoroughly. And I was like, okay, cool. They took bloods. I think they're checking for a specific marker in my bloods. And then if that comes back positive, they're going to do a lumbar puncture, which sucks. I don't like that. I've never had one, but I also don't want one. And then regardless of that or those things, they're also going to do eventually 2 weeks of actigraphy, which is when you wear like a hospital style of smartwatch at home, and I think it monitors your activity level and your sleep. And then I have to do a 2-night sleep study, which sucks because they thought they could only be 1 night. And people describe it like it's an episode of torture, like it's really awful to go through. So I didn't know that 2 nights was even possible. I'm not looking forward to it. But I do also kind of wish that I had started this whole process sooner, because I guess it's as serious as I maybe thought it was, but was trying not to think about it being. And now I'm facing down more wait lists, so exciting stuff. The update is that like things are happening, but they're also just not happening. I don't know when my appointment will be. I don't have any dates for them yet. It's just ambiguous, so we will see. We'll wait. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and if you can hear Wednesday shaking around in the background, please ignore her, is that I picked up my first couple of Halloween bits for this year. I got them from Anthropology in an effort to continue my practice of buying things that are better quality and longer lasting rather than a lot of cheap stuff from like TK Maxx and HomeSense or like Tiger, that kind of thing. It's an effort I've been making for a couple of years now, is to buy things that will last longer. I am a goth girl all year, so it is just homeware to me. Sometimes I put things away so that I can take some of it out every year and it feels more special. It's nice to have stuff that's away and stuff that's out, a good balance, if you will. And I think these are good additions to my collection. I'm excited about them. My dad and I have been breaking a lot of plates. We are very clumsy people, as I guess demonstrated by my sliced up hand, which I'm sorry is gross. We've broken a lot of plates recently. So the first thing I picked up is these really nice bat bowls. These are like those like wide pasta bowls you can get, but I use one like this, a pink one, for every meal because I just think it's a really good shape and size for like anything you're eating. My dad and I joke about the 2 genres of food, which are pasta and not pasta. These bowls are good for those. So nice. I picked up 2. I maybe should have got 3 to include Luke, but then if I pick up 3 to include Luke, I would have to pick up 4 to include Luke's girlfriend because it would just make sense. And then 4 is like a whole set of bowls, you know, and they're quite expensive. So I'm not sure I want that. It's too many bowls. I think 2 is good. My dad and I can use them, and then if Luke comes we could just use normal plates and it wouldn't be the end of the world. So picked up 2 of these for me and my dad. I think it's cute. We can have nice matching Halloween bowls September onwards and it will be kind of cool. And again, we've lost a lot of plates recently, so it is helpful. These are the kinds of bowls that you could look after them and they'll last a long time. And I think that the kind of wobbly shape of them is nice. The texture is nice. They kind of have like a vaguely unfinished handmade look to them. And I just think they're neat. Big fan. The other thing I got that kind of matches, and I got 2 of these for me and my dad as well. I bought a glass like this last year, if you remember, that has skulls on it, but these ones have bats. My dad has been admiring the skull glass all year, and I have been using it all year, and it's just nice because the glass is really thick, which makes it hard to break. We have a ceramic sink in our house, and if you have never had a ceramic sink, I'm happy for you. If you have, you know how bad it is when your hands are a bit slippery and you knock something or you drop something. It's like everything is just always breaking. Ceramic sinks look fantastic, but they kind of suck. Like, I think I would still get one in the future because they look so good. But for the love of God, if you are even remotely clumsy, or if you do a lot of dishes, I guess, it's such a hazard to have in the kitchen. So these are nice because they're more durable than like thinner glasses. I really liked having the skull one, so I got 2 bat ones. I like this kind of speckled foggy effect, I guess. It's like little, I don't know how you call it, the little splotches. My other one doesn't have that, it's just clear, but it has little bubbles in it, which is cool. But I saw the picture on the Anthropology website and it had like a green drink in it and it looked so cool. So I was kind of sold. My dad is really excited to have one of the thicker glasses too, which is nice. And they're spooky, we love spooky, so. The last thing I got is this little vase, in that same kind of texture as the glass, but all purple, which is such an improvement. Purple I think is probably my favorite, if not one of my favorite colors, especially like a dark purple like this, a kind of bruised mauve color or something. Just think it's neat. So it has that nice speckled effect all the way around, which is so pretty. And then the little ghosts, I was sold. Again, this is one of those things that you could keep out all year. I'm probably going to put it on the shelf where all my ghosts are, where I have the candles on the bookcase. I'll probably put it on there. I might actually put a candle in it. I was just thinking that it's kind of too small for anything apart from like dried flowers, and I don't really like those. But you could put a candle in here if you were careful. Would it get too hot? I think it would be okay. I'm gonna try. I have some candlesticks. I'm gonna do that. That's, I think, is the answer. It's a candle holder, not a vase. Okay, nice. For my ghost shrine. My ever-climbing ghost shrine. What else? Wednesday had her birthday. I didn't film anything, but I did take a lot of pictures, as I always do. I'll put them on screen too. Super cute. She's 4 now, very big. It was nice. I didn't film it, but we went for a very nice long walk on a Sunday. It was quite hot actually. It was hotter than we thought it was. But it was a nice walk nonetheless. We walk in kind of a shaded area if we do a big loop, and it was nice. I didn't film it. I didn't want to put the dog through it. It was her day, so I didn't want to spend a lot of time at home trying to make her pose and stuff. The photos are bad enough, I think. But there we go. 4 years old. She's so big. And then I guess the last thing to talk about, I'm looking across my desk at all the stuff trying to work out what I wanted to say. The last thing I think I wanted to talk about is notebooks. So the last thing I think you saw was my travelers stuff. I've been keeping my patrons up to date, but basically what happened was I was doing traveler style stuff and then I evolved a bit and I started doing like digital traveler stuff again. But typing up my pages, and then I was going to get them printed by a manufacturer, like a small zine. And I was really into that idea. I thought it was going to be really, really cool and exciting. The printing did not turn out the way that I had hoped. I was just looking to see if I have the notebook knocking around, but I'm not sure like where I tidied it away to. Oh. Okay, I found it. So this was what I made, and I'll show you because it's kind of a cool idea in theory, but it didn't print the way I wanted. I wasn't super happy with it. I thought it would be neat, you know. I have a month, I think this is June, yeah, June. So I had the whole of June in here and I typed up my pages every day and I put in work progress and the stuff I was watching, commonplace stuff, movies I watched or rewatched, Tamagotchi stuff. I had an index in the front too, which was cool, you know, like it was neat. It was a cool concept, I think, but it didn't print the way I wanted. I feel like I wasn't happy with it. There was just some small things, but they bother me. I guess I'm more of a perfectionist than I thought. This white line along the edge of here, for example, I find really annoying, especially because I made my pages big enough. They had a bleed around the edge. Shouldn't really be a problem. There was plenty of bleed, but it's still got a white line. The other thing is that towards the middle of the book, the border, you can see it on this side, it's fine. And then on this side, they've just cut it off completely in a wonky line. This is a similar problem I had when manufacturing those grey notebooks I made last year. Also in traveler size, and it's a different manufacturer, so it's not even unique to one manufacturer. This is 2 different manufacturers. I think it's because of the way they make stapled booklets. The middle pages are the closest in here, so they cut them and you lose a lot off the edge. But again, I had good bleed, and I would really hope they would try and do something to alleviate that issue, because it just looks awful. And it's not the end of the world really, but it's something that does bother me. Like I only order one a month, like I just ordered one zine. So you would hope that it would be good quality and then it would be neat. Here you can see it's fine. There's a border and that's fine. And then like on this one, there's just no border at all and it's been completely sliced off. And the fact that it's not even a straight line, I think doesn't help either. So basically, that was disappointing. I had really hoped it would be better than that. I had hoped that it would be really cool. I was really attached to it, and I guess because I was so attached to it, I maybe put too much excitement and emphasis on it, and then when it turned out not the way I hoped, it was kind of gutting. I was super disappointed, to be honest with you. My feelings were very hurt, so that sucked. So then what I started doing was I went back to Filofax. And there's not too much to show because it's still mostly digital. Obviously that was June and now we're in July. So I just went back to Filofax. I was like, you know what, I'm mad about all of that. I just want to go home. And so I came home, printed out some new pages to set it up. Only a couple though, kind of redid my calendar a smidge. I'm tracking some stuff down here. And then what I did was keep the same way of working from the Traveler's Experiment. So I'm still typing everything up and then I just print them when they're finished. And I think it's kind of cool. I have like all the pages on my iPad. I've only printed like 4 of them. Not for any particular reason, but I just kind of procrastinating it, I guess. But that's my sleep notes, we don't want those. Yeah, and then I started reformatting Everyday Gloom. I made these Tamagotchi reference pages too, for the evolution chart because the graphics aren't pretty enough or minimal enough. So, you know, there's some things happening, they're just not particularly exciting. And then I was working on Everyday Gloom. Where did it go? Yeah. Kind of redoing some of the illustrations and stuff. I'm still aiming to be finished by mid-August, by the way. So stay tuned, I guess. It is like I'm getting there, it's almost done. Yeah, so I was doing stuff in my Filofax digitally. It's all on my iPad. I have like the month worth of pages almost finished. But I'm not like I'm not feeling super attached to it, if you know what I mean. I'm not feeling, I don't know, normally it feels like a sacred item and it's just not really doing that. So then when I was working on Everyday Gloom, I was kind of thinking like, oh, do you know what would be so nice is to have like a workbook, like a big flat like workbook, like a sketchbook almost, like a place to put the information and to document things as I go, because I made a new divider as well that I didn't print yet, but it's really cool. And you're gonna hate me for this. You remember how I sold my black gingham Hon and I told you that I felt like I was jinxing it when I finally let go of it? Well, I did jinx it because I bought it back, or I bought a different secondhand one. It only had 1 page missing, the rest of it was fully intact, so I was really relieved for that. And I picked a new one up, and I think this is fine because I think for next year what I want is a Filofax and a cousin, and I think those are going to be my 2 books. I might try and do like 2 book 2025. Because everything else that I have tried this year, and it's only been a couple of things, but everything else I've tried has been kind of a mess. I really like my cousin from 2024. I still look through it all the time, and I really like my Filofax. I still look through those pages all the time. My Franklin Covey compact archive binder is actually almost full, which is kind of cool. Here we go. It is actually like mostly full, do you see that? So that's kind of cool. I wonder if maybe these are just the 2 systems I like. I think I need the room to move between them, but I think maybe these are what I want for next year, so that's why I'm not so fussed. I wanted this as a workbook, which is why I picked up a new one, and I have been kind of doing it in a couple of ways. I've been documenting my work progress on the weekly pages. I'm going to stick these in once I've written on the days. They're gonna go like here. So this is some notes I made for Everyday Gloom, and then I was writing about the stuff I was working on each day, kind of the thoughts I was moving through. I need to do yesterday's I ran errands. And then like I just think that works well. It's very easy to maintain because it's just about work. And then for the daily pages, it's kind of the same thing. I'm just talking about work stuff. So here is some inspiration stuff I was looking at. These photos of these old like vintage blow mold ghosts, which are a really common thing in America, or like a really cool thing from America. We don't really get them in the UK. They don't exist here, I don't think. I think in America you can buy them in like thrift shops and like yard sales and stuff. But we just don't, they never made their way over here, I don't feel. I've never seen them. They're so cool. There was this one photo and this woman has a massive collection of them and she clustered them all in front of her fireplace and I was like, oh my god, like that is everything. So printed out some photos of some of them, and then I drew this little cluster inspired by that photo as a divider for the Filofax, and then I just printed it small to show. But this is the kind of thing I mean of like having a workbook. It's like I just want to be able to document the things I was looking at and then what I made from it, if you know what I mean. Like I just want to be able to do that, and then when I work on a lot of pages for like everyday gloom, I just want to be able to print them out and stick them down and write about them. So like could I do it in the Filofax? Yeah, but at the end of the day I think I always come back to missing the cousin. So I think if I just give myself that space to be a workbook, then I think it's cool. I don't think I have to write on every page. I don't think that's necessary. Like the one I have from 2024 that only has like 4 months in it, I still really value as like a treasured object. So I think that's fine. I think for 2025, that's what I want, is just a cousin and a Filofax personal. And I think that's all I need. I think maybe those have just always been the two things. I've never really managed to stay attached to the Day 3 or the Avec in the same way. I think it has to be the cousin, even though I always worry about like the bulking. I think it's still what I'm always drawn to, and so maybe I should just deal with that. So that's kind of my thinking. That's the too long didn't read of where I'm at. I've skimmed over some stuff there, but yeah. Oh, the swimming pool. I'm gonna start swimming. This is kind of exciting and totally irrelevant, but it's still an update I guess I would like to share. I've been looking for a swimming pool in Reading for like 2 years, 3 years, basically since I moved here, and I couldn't find one that was close by, like within walking distance, and that also wasn't chaotic as hell. I am obviously introverted and also I just don't like chaos. When I want to swim somewhere like quiet and soothing. And I think I found somewhere by accident. I think I found somewhere. I won't share where, and I won't share like what it's like. I won't talk about it. I'm gatekeeping the pool for safety reasons, and also because like I want it to stay quiet. I think it's kind of a little local secret. It's kind of like an if you know you know thing. And I'm not willing to sacrifice it before I've started. So I found a pool. And I'm gonna start going swimming. I think Wednesday next week will be my first day potentially. It's the day I run errands, so it just kind of makes sense. And I'm looking forward to it. It's just kind of that thing where like I don't get out much. I walk everywhere, so that is exercise, but I don't do much else, and I just would really like to move my body. You know when you get that feeling when you're like, I need to do something. So I think it would be good for me. I didn't really mean for 2024 to be the year when I worked on health stuff. But better late than never, I suppose. I do feel the cousin and the Filofax is the right choice for 2025, so I'll be looking forward to that. I'm worried about the Hobonichi choices for next year because the black gingham is beautiful. And I saw some of those leaked photos of the 2025 lineup, and they're not cute. Not for me anyway, I'm sure for everyone else. A lot of people on Reddit were excited, but for me, they were not cute. Okay, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I'm a bit rusty, but I just wanted to come and say hi and share some small updates. That's what's going on. Picked up the first Halloween bits of the season, trying to be intentional with those purchases. And I'm back in the two places, I think, where I feel most comfortable for notebooks, and I'm going to stick with them, I think, for 2025. I don't want to be swept up in, I don't know, swept up in it all. It's easier to stay grounded when you're off the internet, I guess is my point. I feel more clear-headed, I guess, away from it, which I think is why it might be nice to make more casual updates. Not having to make one every week necessarily, but be able to just come and share things when I feel like I have things to share. I'm not sure how to describe the videos though, how to name them. I feel like I always want things to be a series and have a name to keep things tidy and to be able to count them, I guess. But I don't know, maybe it could just be updates. Not very exciting, but let me know what you think. For swimming, I bought some Crocs for poolside shoes, and so I can shower in them because I don't want to get like a bacterial infection in my feet. I got some Crocs. I've never had Crocs before. I'm kind of excited about it. I know that's really silly, but I never had them. I never went through it when they were popular, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. I bought some horror charms on Etsy to put on them. Are they called gibbets? I don't know why they're called that, but I bought some little horror charms. I got like a tombstone and like a pumpkin and like ghost face, so I can have little horror Crocs at the pool. Let me know if you would like to see a video of me decorating my Crocs, because I think that's the kind of silly content I'm interested in making. It would just be nice to share small, inconsequential things like that, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure. I feel like I'm still in a very strange place with myself, and I'm dealing with a lot of things behind the scenes. Obviously my health, and then we have some stuff going on at home still. It's just like this kind of ongoing issue. Nothing that I'll talk about, but it's just, you know, there's stuff going on. And it's a lot to manage mentally, I guess. The mental load is quite big of it all. So let me know what you think going forward about smaller updates, little videos. I'm aware that I always come on and talk too much, but I could experiment with shorter, definitely. This one's a long one. It's a month worth of stuff, but I don't know. Thank you for your patience while I've been away and while I continue to be away. I really, really appreciate it. I do. I've seen a couple of people the last couple of days or the last few days have been going back to the original post about the break and saying that they noticed I was still gone and they hope things are good and like that kind of thing. It's really sweet. I really appreciate it. I am not crying behind the camera right now. But I really appreciate it. I was really touched, so thank you. I am doing my best behind the scenes. I am trying to cope with stuff, and I am still interested in making videos, so please be reassured. I'm not quitting. I do want to make videos. I need to find a better way to do it for myself, I think, somehow. Okay, apart from all of that, I hope you have a good weekend. I hope this was an interesting update for you. I am looking forward to sharing this gradual workbook process or progress. Hope you found some Halloween bits if you've been looking. And I will see you next time.